Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. March 24th, 2019. Today, I am making homemade pizza. Now, I've never been a big fan of pizza as far back as I can remember, but here lately, I've been craving some homemade pizza, and I'm going to make two, three kinds, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to put on each of them. So, I want you to stay tuned for more. All right, welcome back, everybody. Now, as I said, I'm kind of the oddball in my family and a lot of people because I've never been a big fan of pizza. Now, whenever I want pizza, I want a thin crust pizza, not that thick crust because I don't like all that bread, but a thin crust pizza. Now, there are so many recipes for pizza crust. If you just want to go out and to the store or your favorite pizzeria and get some ready-made pizza crust, you go right ahead, or pizza dough. Now, what I did here was I had my own. I didn't come up with, by the way, but I went by a certain recipe, and I made the pizza dough from scratch. Now, what I did was this is about a 12-inch pizza pan, and I got two of them, and then I'm going to make two more pizzas. Now, what I did, I went by the recipe, and then I divided the dough, and you'll probably see me in action here in just a little bit because I'm going to make two more. And what I did was I lightly greased each pan with olive oil, and then sprinkle each pan with cornmeal, and that way it will keep your pizza from sticking. And I put them to the side. Now, I'm ready to put the filling and everything else on there. The toppings, I should say. So, first of all, I'm going to put some marinara sauce. You can make your own, or you can buy store-bought like I did. You just want enough to cover, make a thin layer, unless you want yours a little bit saucy. And that's another thing that I don't like too well. I don't like too much sauce on my pizza. There are many versions of pizza. There's dessert pizzas. There's one with everything on it, which here in a few minutes I'm going to make one with everything on it, and that's what I like. All right, here's another one. I bought a bunch of shredded cheese that was on sale, and the sauce was on sale too. It was cheap, less than $1. As I said, the recipe that I used, it was enough to make two thin crust pizzas. Now, if you like yours thick, you can put all this in one pan. It doesn't have to be too perfect, okay? All right. There we go. Put that to the side. Now, I'm going to add some cheese. Now, most pizzas that you buy have mozzarella cheese on it. Well, if you want to put mozzarella cheese on yours, that is totally fine. I just have to have the shredded Italian cheese, and that's what I'm going to put. Right. Here's this one over here. And, your cheese doesn't have to be too perfect. Okay. Let's open up another pack. Here's a little bit of another pack left. As I said, I've never been too big of a fan of pizza. I can eat it every now and then, but there's only like one or two places that I like pizza. And that's it. And if it's fixed right, I'll eat it. I'm an oddball in my family, you can tell, when it comes to pizza. All right. Everything looks good. Looking good. Okay. Now, I'm going to add, I'm going to add some pepperoni. Two of these pizzas are going to be pepperoni, cheese, and sausage. The third pizza I'm going to make is one with everything on it. You talk about green peppers, mushrooms, black olives, onion, and that's the kind of pizza that I like. All right, as well as sausage and pepperoni. Okay, let's get this one over here. I think I'm going to have a lot of views on this. And the kids can get in the kitchen and help you, help the grown-ups. Put the pepperoni on there, put all the toppings on there, the cheese. Okay. All right. Now, sausage. You just get your roll of sausage that you would normally fix for breakfast and just break off little bitty pieces off the roll. And you can just scatter them abroad, the pizza. Don't have to be perfect. Okay. There are endless possibilities, as I said earlier, in making pizza. You want to break off the sausage into tiny parts, into tiny little pieces as you can. Because when I put this in the oven about 15 minutes at 425, everything should be good and done. Now you would want to check and make sure that the cheese melted, everything, the crust is golden brown. It may take a little bit longer, depending upon your oven. All right. Now, all right. These are ready to go into the oven, 425, about 15 minutes or so, and check them. And if they're not done, allow just a couple more minutes. Okay? So, I want you to stay tuned. You're going to see some action that's fixing to take place with the crust. All right, welcome back, everybody. Those two pizzas are in the oven. They'll be done in about 12 to 15 minutes at 425. Now, while they are baking in the oven, I'm going to show you a little bit of making the dough. Now, this is not my recipe, but I'm just going to give you some idea of what is in the dough. Now, if you, as I said, if you want to make store-bought, if you want to go out and get some pizza dough, that's okay. It's totally up to you. But I've never really made homemade pizza dough, so I'm just testing it out. So you're seeing me in action making the dough. Now, in the bowl, I started out by using 1 pack of yeast. Now, you can get this at the grocery store. Some recipes call for the dough to rise, and then you have other recipes for pizza dough. They don't have to rise. Well, I chose the one, for the sake of time, to make that for the dough not to rise. It don't have to rise before you roll it out. So what I did was following the instructions of a certain recipe, and I've got yeast, I've got all-purpose flour. Now, I'm using the unbleached kind. You can get this at the grocery store. Now, it's totally different from self-rising flour. Don't get those mixed up. You would want to use unbleached flour, all-purpose flour. Now, and also got sugar in here and salt. Now, what I'm doing is, to start off with, just get a whisk and just combine it together. Now, this makes life a whole lot easier. I already made, you can already tell that I already been making dough for the first two pizzas, and this is just an electric stand mixer with a dough hook. And if you want to knead yours out by hand, you go ahead. But this makes life so much easier. I'm having trouble getting my words out. But anyway, I'm just excited about making homemade pizza. Now, very important thing, whenever you're making homemade bread or whatever, that you use the right temperature of water. Because if you don't, then too much hot water, if you get the water too hot, it'll kill the yeast. If you don't get the water hot enough or warm enough, then the yeast will not work. It will not activate. So you want it just right. So what I'm going to do is I forgot one thing. I'm going to add some olive oil. Add some olive oil. And by the way, you know that I don't measure anything. But when it comes to bacon and certain other things, it is so important that you go by the recipe. Okay, I got olive oil in here, and I've got some very warm water. Now, I'm going to turn this on. You don't want this to go too fast. I reserve another cup of flour. You just want to gradually put your flour in the bowl. And I'll take this out here in just a minute to show you. You want to add just enough flour where your dough will come into a soft ball stage. See how I'm adding, gradually tapping it. All right. It's just about there. going to show you one thing that I did forget to do is I suppose before I added the extra cup of flour in there, I was supposed to let it go for 1 minute, but I forgot. I did with the other, but I think this should turn out okay. This is just only a test, by the way. All right, now your dough is going to be sticky, okay? At this point, if you want to knead it with your hands on a well-flour surface, it's totally up to you, but I'm going to let this continue for about 4 minutes or so. So, I want you to stay tuned for more. All right, everybody, about 4 minutes have passed. Now, it is well kneaded. You can tell that it is elastic. And even though that I forgot to let that combine before I added to the extra flour, it turned out really good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off. I'm going to unplug it. And then I'm going to show you the first two pizzas that I fixed. Okay? All right, now, let's get this over here. You have to excuse my mess. All right. There you go. That's the finished product. Don't that look good? I'm so thankful it turned out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and serve this, and I want you to stay tuned. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this pizza dough. All right, everybody, I want you to look. This is ready to go. Now, I'm making 2 more pizzas. This is called a scraper. It's good if you're chopping stuff, and you can sweep it up there on that and then put it in whatever you're making. Now, this is also good for dividing something in half. There we go. Now, by no means I am good at rolling stuff out, but I want to show you something first, okay? Before I roll it out. All right. You remember I told you to lightly grease the pan and put cornmeal on it? And this is what I'm going to do. Lightly grease it with olive oil. If you don't have olive oil, you can use vegetable oil. Okay? If you got too much on there, just wipe it out with a paper towel. All right? Get you some cornmeal. Cornmeal mix will work. Get you some cornmeal and just sprinkle it on there. If you got too much, just beat on the back of the pan, and there you go. It's ready to go. All right. Okay. I'm going to do the other one here in just a few minutes as well. Now, watch me in action. Okay. As I said, by no means I'm good at rolling stuff out. You can either pat this out in the pan that you're using, or you can roll it out. You can tell that that this is going back on me. And that's good, because that's what it's supposed to do. Pizza making can be a work of art. Now, I want you to notice that mine is not perfectly round. Now, what I'm doing is I'm putting it on the top of the crust, of the dough. And if it's wide enough, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Next, first of all, take this It's going to show you the importance of making sure that your surface is well floured. Can I get it? Oh yeah. Not out of the woods yet. Put it out on the pan. And that was when I stretch it out a little bit more. Now you're going to have, if you're like me, you may have some excess. If you don't have enough on dough for over here, like I don't, I'm going to take some of this off and I'm going to patch it up a little bit. No one will know that you did that. Okay? If you got excess, then you can cut it off with some scissors. You can also stuff it with some cheese. So I'm going to cut around through here. So I want you to stay tuned. I'm going to show you the toppings that I'm going to put on these two pizzas. All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm going to show you a third pizza that I'm making. It's one that has everything on it. So I'm going to start off with sauce. Spread it thinly. Whoops. If it goes outside the pan, that's okay. All right. Now, cheese. Same kind of cheese. This is going to be very cheesy. All right. Pepperoni. Sausage. Might as well just call this a pizza mini movie. Because I've been craving homemade pizza. And I'm not even too much of a pizza eater. All right. Now I'll tell you what, my family has gone to town on the first two pizzas. All right, sausage. I mean, you can add more meat if you want. You can add ham. You can add hamburger meat. Totally up to you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add. Now, I didn't realize that I didn't get the sliced back black olives, but I've got the chopped black olives. So I'm going to just sprinkle them on there. Not a whole lot. Now, if you don't like black olives, you can leave them off, but I do on a pizza. All right, here's some more things I'm going to put on here. Get that out of the way. Green peppers, sprinkle them on there. Onion. Mushrooms. Chopped up mushrooms. Boy, it's going to be a big pizza right here. And by the way, anything that we don't eat, I'm going to give it away or have it the next day for lunch. All right. Okay, that's ready to go in the oven. Now, one thing I need to point out is make sure that you put it on the bottom rack. 425 for about 15-20 minutes on this one. So I've got one more. I want you to stay tuned. All right, everybody, welcome back. One more pizza that I'm going to show you. First of all, barbecue sauce. Any brand of your choice. Just spread it on there like you would the pizza sauce. Won't need a whole lot. Little goes a long way. Some chicken. This is the chicken breast. For this size, allow one chicken breast per pizza of this size. Forgot to take the bone out of that one. Sure don't want to eat no bones. The chicken has already been cooked. You could probably combine the chicken and the barbecue sauce and then spread it on there. And the cheddar cheese. You can use Kobe Jack, you can use Monterey Jack, you can combine cheeses. Alright, well what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid back on here and I'm going to add just a little bit more sauce. Alright. In the oven it goes. About 15 minutes or so, you're going to have some good barbecue chicken pizza. So I want you to stay tuned. I'm just about ready to be done for today. All right, everybody, the pizza is done. Now, my barbecue chicken pizza just came out of the oven, and it looks really, really good. And the pizza here that I made previously, it's got everything on it, including black olives, green peppers, mushrooms, onions, and pepperoni sausage. And the first two pieces I made, this one is maybe a quarter of the way gone. This one is all gone. So I'm going to take this, divide this up, and give some to some friends. So I'm going to sample a piece for you. Matter of fact, I'm going to sample a piece of this barbecue chicken pizza as well as this pizza over here. So I want you to stay tuned. All right, everybody. I'm ready to sample each one for you. And one thing that I like to put on my pizza, my slice of pizza, is either Parmesan cheese or ranch dressing. And I love both of those. So I'm going to sample this one for you. I've already said a blessing. I like how the sausage, everything just turned out perfect. Give me just a second. All right, then I'm going to sample this barbecue chicken pizza for you. Good. I'll be back in a minute. All right, everybody, I'm back. Just don't talk with your mouth full. It's not nice. Anyway, just to give you some ideas on making homemade pizza, and you can make yours any way that you want it. If you want to use store-bought pizza dough, totally up to you. If you want to make yours homemade, just go online and pick any of them that you want and make it yourself, just like I did. Mine, I just to give you an idea of how to make a pizza dough. It's nothing that I come up with, but anyway, it's just something for me to go by so I can help you out. All right, guys, stay tuned for more videos. Comments are welcome. Have a blessed Sunday.